Thank you. I think I just want to start by saying a big thank you to everyone who's here because it's just an idea. It's not much, and everyone's trusted us and started putting in some time towards it. Also, a big thank you to my team because they've done everything. I had an idea, and then I sent an email and a message, and I have done absolutely no work after that, which is something I'm immensely proud of. So, really good job, Anvita Manognia, Kuhu, and also Tanchi, who's not on the call today, but was instrumental in getting the network set up. So I want to share a little bit of context quickly about why it started. I want to give the disclaimer that this is an unfunded network. We have absolutely no funding, no money, and I'm hoping that the network will take a call if we should even fundraise, because would it take away from the politics of it, right? So those are conversations for later. I think a couple of streams of things have been happening over the last year or two that One Future Collective has been noticing in our work, both in India, South Asia, but then also globally. And we have started feeling ill-equipped to respond to it. So when we felt ill-equipped as one organization to respond to it, we said maybe 10 of us can do what One Future Collective can't do, right? One of it is an increasing anti-rights movement across the world, very closely linked to an anti-gender movement across the world. In India, especially, backsliding of democracy, an increase in anti-rights movements, fascism, just hatred, violence is very strongly linked to anti-gender perspectives. And we feel very ill-equipped to respond to it, right? We do our trainings, we do our sensitization, we do our policy, but we're not enough, even just in terms of our reach. But also, is there something else? Is there something better? Is there something we can do together that we can't do individually? So with the anti-rights space, that was a key question that we were holding. We felt that unfortunately, even One Future Collective ends up engaging with forums more at the regional or global level because we feel the lack of such a space within India. So there's a higher chance I will go for a conference to Thailand or to New York. Then I will just meet the fellow feminist organizations in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, and talk about what can we do, which links me to my second thing. When I started One Future Collective, I started One Future Collective because I wanted to change something. And every person who joined OFC joined because they wanted to change something. But now we only change what the funder tells us they're willing to fund to change. And we are more than what the funder gives us money for. We're more than just registered NGOs. We're people who really care about these issues. So what is our role in activating change? Because we have so much reach. Like each of us here, on average, knowing y'all, works with thousands of people every year. And we have so much power to activate that reach into something impactful, which is beyond a theory of change, a plan of action, a resource budget plan, right? I do all of that as well. But there is a duty that we owe, and this is my idealistic belief, that we owe our country and the world, which is beyond a Section 8 nonprofit, right? So I think that was the second part. And the third, which I think I've already referred to a few times, is the idea of a puzzle. Like One Future Collective does, and I can only speak for us, we do some things really well. We do some things average, and then we don't do some things at all. But those are puzzle pieces where all of you can come in. And not only can we learn from each other, we don't even have to replicate these things. We just want to amplify what others are doing. We have no interest in doing again what someone else is doing so well, because that makes no sense. We just want to make sure that we can amplify that, and that organization or that project can have the reach it needs to create the sort of change it needs to, right? So all of these sort of came together for us, and we didn't know what to do. So we said, why not bring everybody who's doing this and talk about what's happening? And if nothing, we will at least have more formal networks. I have connections with a lot of you interpersonally. I'm sure, people in our organizations have it. We have like informal WhatsApp groups. But I feel like all the WhatsApp groups of the sector I'm on are very like function oriented, right? There's something for fundraising, there's something for technology. But what about our politics? What about we must organize for this? We must advocate for this. How do we do that? And how do we build the underlying trust that is required? And that is sometimes like, leverage trust, which we need to be able to move anything when it comes to a moment of crisis. And how can we stop reacting to crisis and start being very well prepared to meet it head on, sometimes even before it comes? Like How can we forecast something is going to happen? How can we plan for it? How can we be ready? So these were all the thoughts with which this network came about. The idea of this network, and it's a network also because we wanted to be really like decentralized and owned by everybody. We understand it's a lot of work, which is why like we're willing to take on all of the like admin, logistics, whatever else comes up. Right now, I don't know what that would be, because we really want to see like a feminist civil society space within India thrive. And it's already thriving, but maybe it could connect with each other more and become something larger. Like, you know, when you say the sum is larger than the parts, we're hoping something like that can emerge. I know one question that's come up a few times is why urban? To be honest, it's just because we're not funded, which means we have two limitations. One is language. We are primarily able to work in English. We have team members who can work in Hindi, Marathi, but they are not necessarily on this project, which is also a funding requirement, right? So I think that's been one question. I mean, one concern for us in terms of like, this is why we're doing only urban. And second is a lot of challenges around like network, internet, laptop, like, and these are real challenges. And maybe in 6 months, we will find a solution and then we can change that. So I just want to share that nothing's really set in stone. We started with what we know and who we know, and we're hoping this can change things. Yes, I will stop here, but I mean, I just come to this network with a lot of idealism and with a lot of belief that we could really do something to change things around us. And I individually, I'm so much in awe of each of you and the work you all do. And there's not one organization here that I have not obsessively looked at and said, this is so amazing. And we should like amplify their work, share their work. We do it in our newsletters and stuff internally, you might not know. But yes, thank you. And I really hope we can make something out of this. Thank you very much.